Happy Friday. It is December 27th. We are back. We took a break to spend some time with family the day after Christmas. But guess what didn't take a break was markets. We saw a nice rally in corn and soybeans, with corn seeing the highest close we've seen since middle of June. So we will take it. Holiday trade, right? If it's a fundamental move, who cares? Corn's up. That's the story. And so I hope everyone had a good Christmas. I know we did at my family. And I just want to say the Bridgman family, I know tractor sales, combine sales are down for 2024. We're doing our part, right? Maybe they're not the seven-figure X9s, but the tractor toy sales are up in the Bridgman household. So we've got Brady taking some well-deserved time. So I'm going to do a quick solo show. We got a good headlines, but I think the real headline is let's talk about this corn soy market and just the price action we saw yesterday. And hopefully we can continue today, right? A little bit mixed on the board, but we'll see where it goes. So I'll go ahead and do, Joe, I'll quote up the markets real quick, and we'll get in the headlines, get out of here, let everyone have a good weekend. So with that, we've got March corn down just a quarter of a cent, 453.5. We will take it. December 25 corn at 442. Soybeans, March soybeans down 4 currently, 993, but still a nice rally. Nove 25 soybeans, we crested above $10, a good psychological level to see. We'll take it. We've got wheat, Chicago wheat down slightly, May wheat down 2, July wheat down a penny and a half. Moving over, let's look at spring wheat down as well. We got March wheat down a penny. KC wheat down 3 cents. Keep moving right along. We've got hogs, or it looks like it's mixed across the board with April hogs down a little bit. Live cattle is up. Feeder cattle mixed, but we've got March feeders up ever so slightly. Moving over. Crude oil up. Nat gas up as well. We've got the stock market moving down ever so slightly, I believe. So with that, let's get in the headlines. That's enough quoting up the markets. The story is the corn market, and we'll take it, right, Joe? So first order of business, Jan options. If you've got any January soybean options, they expire today. I got to think if you're moving them around, right, if we got some Jan bean puts, they're probably not in the money with the rally we saw yesterday. But, hey, keep it in mind, right, if you've got any – maybe you got some 980 Jan calls, something like that. Even some pay attention to those 980 Jan puts. But they expire today. Then we'll have Jan futures come off the board in a couple weeks. All eyes will be on March futures. So with that, I want to talk most of the show. I think I want to talk about just the price action, looking at March corn, soybeans. Let's talk about that. But we did have a couple headlines over the Christmas break. And the first one I have is Brazil suspends law cutting tax breaks for firms with deforestation soy commitment. Okay, so if you're like me and maybe you got a little bit of a holiday hangover, I had to read this 3 times because are we implementing tax breaks? Are we cutting? Are we getting rid of the tax breaks? Okay, so what they're doing is we, back in the 2000s, they had a soy moratorium, right? That basically said they're going to get a tax break if they do not buy soybeans that were cut from the rainforest post 2008, I believe, right? They introduced a bill that wanted to get rid of that, right? They're saying it's eliminating the free market practice, what have you. Well, that bill, okay, if you're following along, that bill that was going to eliminate that tax break was suspended. So they're upholding that deforestation bill, right? And we're going to kick the can down the road. So a justice on Brazil's top court on Thursday suspended a law from the country's top soy producing state that would end tax breaks for firms following an agreement to not purchase soy from deforested areas of the Amazon rainforest. So, it's kind of an ongoing one. We talked about this one about, I think it was like a month ago that we're seeing this, right? It's interesting to me that it comes along the backs of the EU suspended their premium for deforested soybeans. And so we'll see where it goes, right? In terms of, overall demand. Who knows what it means, but interesting headline that we saw. in coming out of Brazil. And especially, when we're looking at this market, that's the focus too, looking at Brazil and Argentina. So another one I have is I want to talk a little bit about corn. We got corn soy export news, right? It was delayed. Usually comes out on Thursday. Came out on Friday because of the Christmas holiday season. And guess what? Corn continues to be the shining star. We've got actual sales outside the expected range on corn. 67.5 million bushel last week. We were at 46. Last year we were at 39. Good corn exports continues, right? We want that to continue into 2025. Soybeans, on the other hand, a little bit disappointing. 36 million bushel. Looking last week we were at 52. Last year we were at 73. So again, the range was a 37 to 66 on the low end, outside of that range. So kind of the same story we're seeing, right? Corn exports continue to be the shining star, and we will take it. And so with that, let's go ahead and look at this rally we saw yesterday. And so the first question, I think, and I had a lot of people calling me asking, right, what the heck? Why are we seeing this nice rally? And so I think time will tell, right? Hopefully we build on it. But I don't think we can discount the fact that it was a little bit of a holiday trade, right? We see some low volume. Markets can do funny things. But I think the main headline that I'm seeing is we need to look at southern Brazil and mainly Argentina, right? That forecast changed significantly drier. I'll pop up maybe the one that's going to be, if you're a bull, you're going to be looking at this one. Argentina, right? Looking at that 14-day GFS run. Significantly drier than previously thought, right? And when we look yesterday, right, Argentina exports a lot of soy meal, and soy meal was definitely the star yesterday. A nice rally there. Flipping over to the GFS model in Brazil. Again, southern Brazil, right, a little bit drier. I don't know if when I look at this, I don't know if it's panic mode in terms of dryness, right? Pretty normal rainfall for that Mato Grosso region. But that's the main headline that we're looking at, is just a little bit drier in Argentina, Brazil, right? In terms of the overall world market on corn, we need Argentina to have a good corn crop. And I don't know if that weather is really indicative of it. So it's getting the market a little bit nervous. And then I do want to pull up, let's just look at a quick corn chart, right? Looking at March corn, as you can see, we've got, this is a good looking chart, right? Highest close we've seen since going back to June. And just a nice rally, right? Yesterday, we kind of popped above that, held it. Now we're chopping around there. So good to see, right? Regardless of, is it a holiday trade? Was it low volume, right? Can we see it come through? Regardless, we're going to take it, right? We want to see this nice price action. And it's good to see if we can see exports continue. And then the other thing you should have on your calendar is looking at Jan 10th USDA report, right? If we get a little bit friendly, maybe we pull back on this big corn yield, right? That's a good recipe for a nice corn rally. Now, don't bank on that. I believe it was Ben Eichner within our company did a breakdown of just from December WASD to that Jan 10th final yield number, right? Is the old adage big crops get bigger? Is that true? Is it not true? Well, it's a little bit in between, because it's about 50-50 if they decide to raise or lower the yield from the December WASD to that January one. So if you're banking on that the USDA has to cut yields, know that history basically puts it at a coin flip. So we will see, right? We'll see how this finishes throughout the year. We got a lot of headlines coming into 2025, but we'll take this rally. And I got a question. Are you taking advantage of it, right? Looking at soybeans especially, right? Talking a lot about the corn market because I do think that's the shining star. But we saw a nice rally yesterday in the soybean market. I see a strong cash market where I am in Central Illinois. That'd be a message for you. Just check your local cash markets, right? See what that basis is and see if we want to convert soybeans to cash or if we want to own them on paper. So with that, right, did I miss any headlines, Joe? I think I covered them. Yeah, so we got it. So We'll see what today brings. We'll get next week's going to be another holiday trade, kind of a weird layout with Christmas in the middle of the week and then New Year's in the middle of the week as well. And so we'll see where we go from there. But with that, let's go ahead and pop up some questions. We're going to get out of here, Joe. We got a lot to do. So Farmer Brett, last year at this time for corn in Western Kansas, we had a basis of around 80 over. Last week I got a bid of 31. So Farmer Brett in Kansas seeing a little bit, in my area, give you an update in Central Illinois. Corn basis, it's not exactly on fire. It's not terrible. But soybean basis, I think, is the big shining star where I'm at, right? St. Louis, and then our processor north of me in Decatur has got a really good soybean bid. So interesting to see, Brett. I think that's probably a testament to the type of corn crop Kansas had this year versus last year, if I had to guess. So Luke, Smithfield and Laurinburg, North Carolina had a $1.15 over bid. If you're up for a road trip, Farmer Brett, $1.15. I drive a long way for a $1.15. That's a good one. That's a very nice. Was that? I'm assuming that's corn, right, Luke? But good to see, right? It's always good to see the cash market. Don't get caught. I love hearing where the cash market knows, right? Soybean basis is rallying, so soybeans have to rally as well. It's not exactly that simple, right? But right when the cash market talks, we got to listen. And so I think that's a big thing. If we're sitting on old crop, start thinking about, right, do we want to move it and how do we want to move it and go from there? Russ, well, we got 33 under corn, 58 under beans. Okay. Significantly lower than what Luke and Farmer Brett are seeing. And so, Russ, I got to ask, is that going to a processor or is that going to an elevator or some type of merchandiser? But significant. I guess it doesn't, the corn number, it doesn't exactly shock me, right? Because we had some really good corn crops in Iowa. I am surprised at a 58 under on soybeans in your area, Russ. So what do you got? ADM carries. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So what else do you say? Cargill? Comments are flying in. Thanks, guys. Luke. Cargill. Got it. Okay. And then Luke said, yep, corn. Kershaw, South Dakota is a 30 over. Out east, I saw negative $1.05 bean bid. I'm surprised at that lower bean bid, guys. Really, maybe I'm getting that backyarditis where I see a strong bean bid and I just assume it's going to be everywhere. But very surprising. I think the Iowa at 58 under is maybe the most surprising for me. So interesting, good stuff, guys. Keep me updated, right? If you're seeing a good, I always love hearing the different cash bids. If you see a hot one, right? Is anyone offering free DP out there, right? Is anyone just ready to move a bunch of corn on free DP? Let us know about that too. And so with that, right, we'll let everyone get back to their day. We'll go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you for watching, right? We'll be back in full swing next week into the new year. We got a lot of fun things planned with ATI Pro Media in 2025, a lot of things we want to implement. One call to action is we would love to have some outside guest contributors outside of advanced trading. We've got a wonderful pool of talent. I work with a ton of very smart people, but we'd love to get outside the company too, right? So if you have anyone that you think would be a good fit to just give us a quick update on the live show or for premium, send us our way, send us an email. We'd love to have you. And so with that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Everyone have a great weekend. I hope you had a good Christmas. I know we did at the Bridgman household. Everyone, generally speaking, right, when you got the 3 young kids, it seems like around this time you just take turn who's sick. But guess what? Christmas, everyone was healthy. We had a great time. So everyone have a great weekend. We'll see what the markets do today over the weekend, and we'll be back Monday. Have a good one, everyone.